Buddha.
No way, Jose.
Well, hello. Hi, everybody doing tonight? Well, this is going to be one of those nights that something that will go wrong does go wrong. So guess what? We're just going to do it anyway. Respect to Bible Girl, Wendy, Shawanda Williams, respect. I know everybody is enjoying their day this holiday, but I just wanted to come on and say, how is everybody doing? I know I'm a little late, but guess what? It is what it is. And we might have a little difficulties. So we're going to talk about this subject right here. The subject is the First Amendment. Yes, this is an open panel here. The First Amendment. I'm going to read you what the First Amendment said, and we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down. I'm going to break it down for you, okay? The First Amendment says First Amendment provides that Congress make no law respecting any establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise. It protects freedom of speech, the press, assembly, and the right to petition the government for a redress of grievance. Let's take the first one. It's supposed to protect freedom of speech. It's supposed to protect freedom of speech, right? We can say whatever we want to a certain extent. We can't holler fire in a crowded building. We can't You could call somebody a B, a H. Well, they're just words. But guess what? You disrespect them when you do. See, when you call somebody out their name, that disrespecting them. But it's freedom of speech. You can do whatever you want to. You can cuss out the police officer. That's freedom of speech. Ain't nothing they could do about it. Okay. But what? Who has freedom of speech in our culture, in our mindset? We do not, in our community, we do not have a freedom of speech. When we speak our mind, when we speak our mind, they tend to think we are angry. Especially when our black queens and queens speak their mind, they think they are angry black woman, right? So, okay, let's look at the other one. Freedom of the press. We can't go around printing everything we want to. No, we're not freedom of the press. We can't go around printing that somebody did this, somebody did that without the facts. So, freedom of the press, no, that is not the freedom of the press. Because if it was freedom of the press, we could go around reporters, content creators, newspaper writer can go put anything in a newspaper they want to put in there without just with no regard to anybody else. That is not freedom of the press. And the right to petition the government for a redress of grievance. Hmm. Think about it. We can petition the government all we want to, but guess what? The grievance it goes in the trash can when it comes to the government. Okay, right there, a symbol. Okay, let's take us for a symbol for a minute. Real symbol, right? Black men and women assemble. Peaceful protest. But guess what? We get labeled as hood, thugs, and everything else when we peaceful protesting. And that right there is not a freedom. Because when we do a symbol in a peaceful protest, they send out policemen, National Guard with body armor on. Because we peacefully protest and then want to arrest us. We can't assemble around nobody else's house because they think we might be a threat. That's not a peace. That's not freedom of assembly. That is not a right. Us as a black community, we do not have a right concerning them. But the amendment wasn't written for us. The amendment was not written for us. Okay. What does the first amendment? It says protect the freedom of speech. All right, let's go look at what freedom of speech means. Let's go look what freedom of speech means. Okay. See, it says, first amendment, irrelevant part that Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech. Freedom of speech includes the right. Includes the right now, listen, not to speak, specifically the right not to salute the flag. See, we don't have to salute the flag. We don't have to put our hand over our heart. We can do what we want to do. That's freedom of speech. Students who wear black armbands to school to protest a war. Students do not shed their constitutional right at the schoolhouse gate, which is right. We can wear a black armband if we don't like nothing. Freedom of speech. But us melanated folk, dark skinned folk, we don't have no such thing as freedom of speech because they want to call us terrorists. They want to call us terrorists. Okay, it's going down. To use certain official words and phrases to convey political message. Okay, understandable. To contribute money under certain circumstances to political campaign. To advertise commercial product and professional service with some restriction. Respect to run 19. Okay. to engage in symbolic speech, burning of the flag in protest. Okay, that's what respect, Brian Robinson. That what freedom of speech protects. This what the spirit of speech does not include the right to do, to cite, exhibit lawless action. Respect intel. Wow. See, we cannot incite a riot or a fight. But guess what? When we're assembly, that's what they think we're doing as a community. That's what they think we're doing. Inciting. Inciting a riot, right? To make a to make or distribute obscene materials. To make or distribute obscene material. But guess what? That's freedom of speech, right? Is that freedom of speech? It's supposed to be, right? That's supposed to be freedom of speech, right? But it's not. Respect Miss April Showers. She burned draft card as an anti-war protest. Wait a minute, 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 wait a minute. This was 1968. Okay. We can burn a flag for protest, but we can't burn a draft card? Wait a minute. Hold on. Shouldn't both of them be under that freedom of speech does not include the right to do? Or should both of them be under the freedom of speech, the right to do? Hmm. You see some you see some misinterpret that, right? You see some back in some mislead. So I can't burn my draft card, but I can burn the flag. Hmm. Kind of backwards, huh? Yeah, you tell. Wow, that sounds strange. Just I don't know what. To here's the other one. That's under does not include the right to do to permit students to print article in a school newspaper over the objection of the school administration. Hmm. Isn't that part of freedom of the press? Don't that go under the freedom of the press? So, so a student cannot print an article in a school newspaper over the objection of the school administration. That is backward entail over the school. Take a look at this right. But it says freedom of the press, right? Is the school newspaper part of the press? If the students do not feel that the administration not doing what they're doing, should that student be able to write that in the school newspaper so everybody can see it? Hmm, that's backwards too. Well, why would it just take away, throw the freedom of the press out the window then? Fuck it. Here's another one. A student to make an obscene, obscene speech at a school sponsored event. Okay, who to say what is obscene? What is an obscene speech? No cussing, no vulgar language, or a political speech that they want to give that they feel need to be given. Which one is obscene? Hmm. Let that sink in. Okay. A student to advocate illegal drug use at a school sponsored event. I can understand that one right there. I can understand that one very good. I can understand that one very good. See, this is gonna be a short video. It's gonna be a short one. Then we're gonna get back on it tomorrow. You want to get on tomorrow? See, it's a lot of things that in the laws that respect Berlin Sanders show. Okay, let's find out. Let's find out something. Was the amendment meant for black people. Do y'all think the Bill of Rights and the amendments were made for black people? Do you think it was meant for us? Let's see. What did the amendments do for African Americans? Let's see what that says. Let's see what that says. Passed by Congress February 26, 1869, and ratified February 3rd, 1870. The 15th Amendment granted African American men the right to vote. Hmm. Okay. They, they amended it. I don't think it was made for anyone poor. Anyone poor. I don't think it was made for black people. It wasn't made for black people. So it was ratified in 1870 for African American men the right to vote. But how many African American men actually got to vote? How many? How many of the men got to vote? I'll wait. I'll wait. See, they wasn't meant for us. It wasn't meant for us at all. It wasn't meant for us at all. But this just a little crush the way we diving into. This little crush we diving into right here. Because it wasn't meant for us. It wasn't meant for us. Let's see. Let's go and see who it was meant for. Who do y'all think the Bill of Rights, which is the amendments, who would you think the amendment was written for? Who was it written for? Respect that, Fatty Act. Respect Fatty Act, my brother. Let's see who the first 10 amendments of the Constitution make up the Bill of Rights. The first 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights, right? James Madison wrote the amendment, which lists specific prohibitation, prohibits government power in response to calls for several states to for greater constitutional protection for individual liberty. Individual liberty? What they talking about? Who was that? Who was the Bill of Rights written for? Was it written for us, Black Americans, Native Americans, us Black Native women? I think not. It wasn't. It wasn't written for us. Especially when it was written back then. That's when it was written back then. I'm going to say something. The background. The Bill of Rights derives from 1215, the English Bill of Rights, 1689, the colonial struggle against king and parliament, and a gradually bordering concept of equality among the American people. Virginia's 1776 Declaration of Rights, drafted chiefly by George Mason, was a notable frontrunner. The document, which initially came to be known as the English Bill of Rights of 1689, contains many rights that were later included in the First Amendment, such as the right to petition and the freedom of speech and debate, specifically target like the speech and debate clause in the U.S. Constitution. That wasn't meant for us. That wasn't made for us. That Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments weren't made for us, especially back in them days. So we're gonna dive deeper into it later on in the week in the Bill of Rights. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is not free. We don't have the right to assemble without being harassed. We don't have the right to petition the government because they think we always cry, we always want a handout. What is the First Amendment? What is free about it? What is free about the First Amendment? What is free about it? Nothing. What is free about it to us? Nothing. Okay, let's see what the significance is. Okay, hold up. Hold on. No, gotta go back. Gotta go back. It's not made for us. It wasn't made for us back then. And it still continues today in this society. Look how many black men, black women get called out, get taken down. When we give a speech, it's a hate speech. But when somebody else gives a speech, oh, whoa, we granted and wonderful. Right to assemble. Look what happened January 6th. Is what that 2020 or 2021? Look what they did. They went and stormed the Capitol. What was the National Guard? What was the policing riot gear? But as soon as we started assembling and a peaceful protest, here they come, riot gear, National Guard. I'm giving a perfect example of peaceful protest that was going on when that guy got shot at when they're trying to build Cop City. A peaceful protest. They weren't bothering nobody, but they started shooting, trying to say he shot back, he shot that them first, which was a lie. So we do not have no kind of rights. So we speak out, we try to get shut down, especially on social media when we talking about this stuff. Let's be as one. Let's take this freedom that we supposed to have. Let's speak out about it. Let's let's scream to our top of the lungs and say no more. But this freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to write petition, freedom of the press. What freedom do you have? What freedom did the press have? What freedom did they give us? None. Because if it was freedom, I do not see it. I do not see it. But Thursday, Thursday afternoon, we will dive deeper into this freedom. And we're going to go to the Second Amendment Thursday. So thanks for joining me. I told you there's going to be a short live. Got an early day in the morning tomorrow. But guess what? Respect to the to 20 nations. Respect to the Nile River. Respect to all my supporters and my subscribers. Respect to y'all. And I love you. And keep doing what you're doing. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do anything. Don't let nobody tell you you cannot do anything. Do not let people say you cannot raise higher. Aim higher. Because guess what? I'm finna sign off. You know how I sign off. Love and respect yourself. Because you love and respect yourself, you can see through a whole bunch of BS. And then try to make the next day better than it was before. Make it better. I love you. Peace. And I'm out.
Buddha.